Today, people, you're going to see me like you haven't seen me in a long time. My hair's kind of a mess. I'm growing a little truff there. But I want you to see the t-shirt I'm wearing. Look at that t-shirt. What does that t-shirt actually represent? Take a look at me. Yeah, this is JD. This is what he looks like out of his turtleneck and jacket. But what am I going to talk to you about today? And what does that t-shirt have to do with it? Well, you know we have territories within the United States. Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, the Virgin Islands, Guam, and a few others. And these territories have representatives that are in our Congress, both the House and the Senate. But you know they do not have a vote. Not a single one of them have a vote. Why do I bring that up? Because one of the biggest complaints in the Declaration of Independence is that the colonies in the Parliament did not have a vote. Actually, the Parliament was ran by the rich and the elite of England, while the common folks, the workers, really didn't have a say. There was no real representation of the people. And there definitely was no representation. The American colonies could not vote on any act that dealt with taxation with the colonies. That's taxation without representation. That is the Boston Tea Party, if you remember. Taxation without representation, because they could not vote. Same thing happens in these territories in the United States. When the federal government decides to tax them, they can object all they want, but they have no vote. They can agree all they want, but they have no vote. Are they truly American citizens? You could go to Guam. A person from Guam can get on a plane, fly straight to San Francisco, and drive anywhere inside this country without getting a passport or anything. Their Guam driver's license is just as good in the United States as it is in Guam. They can do the same thing in Puerto Rico. Matter of fact, they do a lot. I mean, a lot of Puerto Ricans are in Florida. A lot of Puerto Ricans are in New York. A lot of Puerto Ricans are throughout this whole country because they are American citizens. But while they're in Puerto Rico, they have no real voice in the government. If they go to Florida, they have a voice now. Their vote counts, and their Florida representative can vote. If they go to New York, they have a voice. But while they're in Puerto Rico, they don't have a voice. That's just one of many things that is wrong with our present government. I said, why am I wearing this shirt? I mean, I was looking at it this morning and was deciding, how should I wear it? Should I wear it underneath or out front? I said, no, I'm going to do a video about it. People, I'm not going to ask you to believe a single word I say here. Matter of fact, I want you to disbelieve it so you check it out to see if I'm not speaking the absolute truth. Read the Declaration of Independence and see if it does not, word for word, apply to our government today. The very reasons we went to war against England, we are facing daily from our own government. The elite have a voice. They say you do, but really, do you? I seem to Republican Party has a voice, though. They have a very strong voice. The Democrat Party has a voice. They have a strong voice. But does the people have a voice? No. You don't. How many people here in this country, actually the majority of people don't even vote. They're not registered Democrat. They're not registered Republican. They have no voice. Because your congressmen, both the House and the Senate, represent political parties, not you. So why am I doing this? Because I want you all to have a voice. Well, if Congress wants to be lobbied by the Republicans and the Democrats and the other political parties, then people, I'm giving you a chance to have a president that is strong enough and probably irate enough or probably headstrong enough to stand before Congress and represent each and every one of you. Not a political party, not a special interest group, not just the rich, not just the poor, not just the working class, but each and every one of you. All of you as one people. Our declaration should be read regularly. Our Declaration of Independence, so that you all understand what's going on around you, so that you can stand up and say, hey, this is getting bad. This is getting terrible. Let me give you an example of how frivolous this has gotten. Trump running on the wall. Build a wall. How many times do I have to say, that's ridiculous? How can somebody say, who has a business sense, that the wall will even work? All the wall will be is a major expense from the Pacific coast in California to the Gulf of Mexico and Texas. You can build that wall from end to end, 200 feet high and 100 feet down. And before that wall is completed, and the trillions upon trillions it cost, there's going to be tunnels through underground all over the place. That wall will accomplish nothing more than give another added expense to the United States. Make the people inside who say, oh, we got to do something about immigration. We did. We built a wall. Now they're coming through tunnels. But don't ask me where these tunnels are. We got to find them. Where before we could see them come, now we got to hunt. You know? You'd be surprised at how many tunnels exist now that we don't even know about. Start off in different places. What looks like a normal factory in Mexico that comes out in a normal house in Texas is actually the entrance and the exit of a tunnel. People may even be living in that house in Texas, but there is an exit. As long as our government is frivolous and looking for the easy way to do things, as long as our government does not represent you, the people, and your desires and your wants. Do you know how many people I talk to that say they don't want to stop the flow of illegal aliens? All they want is that for the illegal aliens to pay their fair share in the taxes in this country. And that could be easily done. Easily done. By getting rid of the one illegal, that I call it illegal, amendment. The income tax amendment. And going to a sales tax. Have a government based on your ability to spend, not your ability to earn, not your ability to work, not your ability to get out there and be productive and incentive and inventive and start businesses and make millions of dollars. No, have a government that is based on how you spend your money. That is more equitable and more fair than any other type of taxation. Why? Because the poor spend less, the rich spend more. The poor pay less, the rich pay more. And no loopholes. No loopholes. No charities, you get no, you pay the sales tax. No church, no, you buy anything in the United States, sales tax. Every single person pays sales tax. Then there's some things that shouldn't be taxed. You get a check. Give you an example. Let's say there's a convent in this country, since I'm Roman Catholic, that has 18 nuns. They go and they buy stuff. Well, they should be receiving every 3 or 4 months for each nun a check, which will be a lot more than a family of 3. Family of 3 would receive a certain amount. An individual gets this much, a family gets this much, a family of a certain size. Do that by a census. A tourist comes into this country, spends 3 weeks. Okay, that tourist is entitled to some of that refund. So fill out the paperwork, mail it in, and the government will mail that tourist a check to their home address in whatever country they are or where they want it mailed to. An illegal alien in this country spends and is taxed. That person is also entitled to a refund. The person needs to let us know where they're at, but understand, because you're an illegal alien, what will happen is that somebody will show up with your check, take you to the airport, cash your check, buy your plane ticket, and on your way home. Or other arrangements could be made. I actually believe our nation, with the right government and the proper leadership, would have more jobs in this country than we could fill. More jobs. Good paying jobs. Speaking of paying, yes, we should have a minimum wage. But you know what the minimum wage is for? Students. Retired people. Not family earning income. Not a husband and wife each going out and getting a job of minimum wage so that they can get a decent wage. No. Minimum wage should be just that. A wage that after 6 months, if you're not a student, if you're a permanent worker, you get more. We should have what is set as a livable wage. Livable earned income. Minimum wage, let's use what we got now, $7 an hour. Livable earned income, $11 an hour. And if a person who is and fills out the paperwork and puts their down and 3 more dependents, after 6 months they better be earning livable wage income, not minimum wage income. Yes, we do need help to protect the people, because the unions, like everything else, has become incorporized, institutionalized, whatever you want to call it, but they don't protect the people. They're more interested in themselves. So we need a president who will stand up before Congress and have the courage to stand there alone against all the political machines, because he knows he's got the people. Because we together can do the job. We together as a nation can be the richest, most prosperous nation in the world if our only political parties, politicians would get out of our way. You know, there used to be something that people used to say. You either come along for the ride or get out of our way. Politicians don't want to come along for the ride. They don't want to take care of you. They want to keep their political machine going. Keep that political power. Not caring who they run over. Well, I'm representing something else. I'm not representing a single political ideal or political party or any part of a political machine. I'm more interested in the state of the union and you, the people. I care more about our country and you, the people, than I care about any political entity. I actually don't care about any political entity whatsoever. But you all have to understand the words of George Washington when he said political parties are nothing more than the way for the unscrupulous, not deserving individuals to rise to power. He did not believe in political parties, nor do I. He believed in the people as I do. He believed in our nation, our Constitution. If you don't believe he didn't believe in the Constitution, look at when he became president. He is the 8th president of the United States of America. First congressional. Why wasn't he the very first? He refused to. He refused to be elected, appointed, or whatever you want by the Continental Congress. John Hanson was the very first president. Whether he was half black and half white, or whether he was all white, I really don't care. But he was the very first president, and probably one of the most important presidents our nation ever had. Because without him, there would have been no United States of America. But people, you all have to understand. Today, I'm here in a t-shirt. Regular t-shirt, but it says the spirit of 1776. And it's there to remind you that our nation is in need of you. Our Constitution is crying out for each and every one of you. And I can't do it alone. You all must understand. What would the Boston Tea Party be if one guy dressed up as an Indian showed up on the dock and took a bale of tea, a box of tea, put a hatchet through it and threw it in the bay? One guy alone. Would it have been anything? He probably would have got arrested by the British, thrown in jail, and that's about it. Well, that's what you're doing to this nation. Each and every one of you. It's time for us together. I mean, let me give you an example. The Tea Party. Look at the Tea Party. What is it? Well, it's actually another way of spelling Republican Party. It's the extreme right of the Republican Party. It is extreme conservative, you can say, extreme whatever. But you know something? The Constitution is not a conservative document. The Constitution is really a very, very radical document. Extremely radical compared to other constitutions throughout the world. So it was written 200 years ago. It was so far in advance to anything that even to this day, no country has caught up to it. The United States Constitution is the most radical governmental document ever written, not conservative. So if you believe in the Constitution and you support the Constitution and you want the Constitution to be the supreme law of the land, you're not conservative. Thinking that everybody is equal, thinking that the government works for the people, thinking that the people are the masters of the government. Listen. Reading the 6 promises made by the Constitution in the preamble. We, the people of the United States of America. It doesn't say we, the Congress, or the government of the United States of America, or the political party. It's the people, you and me. And if you go to the Declaration of Independence, the 2 most important documents, the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, our nation has. You go to the Declaration of Independence. Today's government is identical to the very parliament that we went to war against. Now, should we pick up arms and shoot our way into the White House? No. What we should do is gather together, get JD on the ballot, Start getting signatures out there for JD. I don't care if you put JD or James D. Cravo. But you have to do it. I would love to see across this country and in many locations a campaign headquarters for James D. Cravo. The spirit of 1776 today from 2016. But to do that, I need you. And you need me. Remember, I only made 3 promises this time. I've been campaigning since 2000. I've been looking at things. Now, everything else I talked about, yes, it is that way. We shall choose the route that best suits our nation. But the 3 promises: 1, to bring your voice to Washington, D.C. You must understand that is the most important. And without your vote, and without you telling me, how can I do that? Because I'm very serious. I want you to be spoken when I speak. I want out of my mouth, past my lips, come your words. Can I do it with you? Yes. Second, that Congress must realize that we, the people of the United States of America, are the masters of our government. That Congress is to serve us, the people of the United States of America, not a political party, not a special interest group, not just the elite rich, not foreign entities, just the people of the United States of America and nothing and no others throughout this world. And that Congress must know, above all else, that we, the American people, are the masters of our government. We are not the servants or the slaves of this government. And the third promise is to bring true leadership to the White House. That is where it's needed. You don't need leadership in Congress. You need people who can compromise, people who can get along with others, people who can work. But the White House needs to give this nation a direction where it is going. And my direction is that of the people. You. The direction of our Constitution. The direction of our Declaration of Independence. The direction of each and every one of you. That must matter. That's what I will burn. Now, if you want to see what I think about taxes, I got a video about taxes. It talks about different forms of taxes and everything. Foreign affairs, I got a video on foreign affairs. Where did I get that from? Gosh, traveling throughout the world when I was in the Navy. I got to meet a lot of people in different countries. The only problem they have with the United States is the United States government, not the people. I have not yet met a single person throughout the world that said they dislike American people. Some of them say we're a little rude and obnoxious, but they never said they disliked us. But they hate our government because our government is always trying to tell them how to live. It's not the job of our government. Remember, our government is to serve us, the people, not the world. Problems? Look at the frivolous wars previous presidents have gotten us into. Wars we did not need. Wars we should not have been involved. Ever since the end of the World War II, we have been tied up in war upon war upon war upon war of nations we do not and should not have been involved with. Look at Congress's biggest blunder. And I mean Congress's biggest blunder. Vietnam. But they're coming close. They're doing a pretty good job of blundering all over the Middle East now, aren't they? And they say, no, that's Bush. No, that's not Bush, that's Congress. Bush can't go and have a war. Congress must approve it. Obama can't go and have a war. Congress must approve it. When are we going to get a president that says, hey, these little petty games we're playing is only getting American citizens killed? We either go to war or we go home. We let the nations do as they wish. But let them be forewarned. Dare they try us? We're not going to play this tit-for-tat game. Because when we go to war, we're going to go to war. And if you want to see what I mean by that, go to World War II. That's a good example. So don't complain to me about if we have to go to war with you, we take a hospital out. You're lucky we didn't take the whole city out. I think we did that quite well in Germany a couple of times, did we not? And I know we did that quite well in Japan. So, no, people, I won't play games. War is not a game. I have two definitions of what war is. One, during wartime it's hell. In peacetime it's murder. That's it. Right there. So if you want hell, we'll bring you hell. Otherwise, we're not going to get involved. Sorry. We don't go around killing people just for the fun of it. And having our own people killed. So that's my theory on war. I'm not saying we won't go to war, but I say if we do, it's going to be a heck of a war. Promise you that it will be something people will talk about throughout the world. But people, I want you all to understand, this video is for you to realize, don't wait till June of 2016. It's too late. Now is the time. Now is when I need you. Now we must start getting those signatures for James D. Crivo, J.D. Crivo, or just J.D. and get them all into your states. So I can be on the ballot, so people will have a choice between the political machines and you. That's it. Not me, you. Because alone, I already know I can't do it. Alone, I already know that I cannot stand up against Congress. Alone, I already know that is not what our country is built on. Our Constitution does not start off with the president, even though the executive branch is right after the preamble. The preamble is the most important part. It starts off with we the people. And as your president, I must be for we the people. Nothing else. So I have to keep those three promises, and we will together fix everything else. Remember, Benjamin Franklin said about this country, business is the business of America. To promote business, to promote economic growth, to promote each and every one of you the ability to earn the maximum you could possibly earn under a safe and very well organized nation is the purpose of our government. Not to dictate how you shall live, not to dictate what you shall eat for dinner, not to dictate how you shall breathe, but to permit you all maximum opportunity for maximum economic growth. And our taxation should be based on that. Because the more you could spend, the greater our taxes would be. See how it all ties in together? And remember, anyone who studies economics, there's three legs in economics, and they have to be there. One, creating new wealth. That's when you manufacture. That's creating new wealth. Two, distribution of the new wealth. That's where the employees and the stockholders and everybody gets a fair share of the created new wealth. And finally, consumption of products. That's where the new wealth is used to purchase the items you wish. Without those three legs, creating new wealth, distribution of new wealth, and the spending or consumption of the product via spending the new wealth, there is no economic system. Take any one leg away, and you have a weakened system. So, people, think about it. Think about what JD is. If you really want to know what JD is, look in the mirror and say, hey, that's the guy JD is. He's going to bring this guy, that girl, this person that's standing in front of the mirror into their White House. And he's going to put this person before Congress, telling them, this is what I want. So, people, I end now. Think about it. Check me out. I got enough videos here for you to check out. And if you disagree, let me know. Because you have to disagree with something. Because I am not you. But together, we, you and I, shall make a great nation. Thank you for your time. This is JD. You have a nice day.